Your home for the best college football coverage in Utah is on the KSL Sports Zone. Ready? It's the first Big 12 battle for the Utes as they head to Stillwater for a showdown against Oklahoma State. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Tomorrow's our Football Friday. You don't want to miss any of it. We're going to be up at Weber High School. I said that like it's a question. That's where we're going to be, Weber High School. Weber and Davis facing off tomorrow. Sly's going to be on the road, and so Sly, JJ, who's not in today, who you're replacing, he will come back tomorrow for the show. He and I will be calling the game. I'll be replacing you for tomorrow. Does that all make sense? It's a weird dance that we all do, right?
It's the Utah Shuffle.
Yeah. Look, but Sly's got to go down to Oklahoma State, of course, to do the sideline gig for Utah football. And joining us on the program right now, I told Sly, I said, we got to get you an education in this hockey thing. And Kevin McCloskey, one of our favorite hockey analysts in the entire Wasatch Front, joins us here. Last time we had you on, it was 7 hours of radio. I'm surprised you wanted to come back, Kevin.
So, Alex, I got to ask you a question. Is there a test on this musical chairs you just described?
No,
tomorrow night.
Even as I said it, I was like, "Am I getting this right? Am I going to be in the right place?" Yeah. Yes. Sly goes down to Oklahoma State. JJ comes back tomorrow. He and I call the game between Davis and Weber, and then there you go. We're back into the weekend. So.
And then Kevin is at the Acord Ice Arena as the Utah Outliers open their season, game 1 of 53 tomorrow night.
So you guys kind of match up with when the start of the NHL season fires up then.
Yeah, they're a little bit behind us. So we've been training now for 4 weeks, and tomorrow's game 1 against Rock Springs, and off we go. The journey begins.
Do the Utah Outliers have like an absolute rival? Is it Rock Springs? Who are the people that you face off against the ice and you go, oh my goodness? I know we try to teach these kids. I know we try to teach these kids the right way, but who's your rival?
The Ogden Mustangs. So Ogden beat us in the division finals last year, and we beat them the 3 previous years. So we're 3-1 ahead in the rivalry, and the two of us are the wagon. We're usually the best 2 teams, and it's a great rivalry. We have a lot of fun with it, and it's here in the Wasatch Front. It's great hockey, and there is now another Utah hockey team here that has kind of just appeared out of nowhere from the land of desert in Arizona.
But spotlight.
We are so excited to have the NHL here at our level of hockey. It just brings such an awareness to our game here.
So that's what I was going to ask. Is that training camp fired up today, and we learn and everything along the way. Everything's new for us to learn, and the training camp roster is 64. They cut the roster down. Obviously, they dressed 20 for these games. And so I don't know, what are you – it just seems like you're drinking from a fire hose if you're a coach, because there's a lot of guys. One, you invite a lot of guys to look at, and you know that most of them you're not going to see, playing on the big club. But what exactly is the function of training camp, and how well is Bear going to be able to see kind of his guys and pick his dudes and know exactly what a roster is going to be like in the next few days?
So that's an interesting question. And it's different from the 70s when I played. We used to have training camp for a month. So these guys have the rookie camp. They go down and play in L.A. The Kings were the host of the rookie tournament this year with the 6 teams. And those kids are mostly gone. I know Cole Bodwin is here, and I think Ginla's hurt, banged up a little bit. But by and large, most of those guys have gone back to their either ready for college hockey or their junior teams. There'll be a couple of guys hanging around. I think that the Utah Hockey Club ran out about 15 or 16 forwards. They're dressing 12, so it's cut down pretty good. I know Bukestad and Marino are hurt right now. I think they're week to week, and you've got 7 or 8 D here, so it's really pared down pretty quickly, getting going. And they have 3 practices today, tomorrow, and Saturday, and then they run off to Des Moines to play St. Louis on Sunday, and they're home here, of course, Monday night at the Delta Center. So there's not a lot of time to get ready.
Yeah, so what can fans kind of expect? This is all new to us, this new short training camp. I mean, you said a month. I'm just thinking about, me playing football for a month before we have our first game, and I'm telling you, somebody's getting punched. But which is what you want in hockey, right? You want your enforcers. But what can Utah fans, what are we expecting? This is all new territory, especially NHL hockey, all new territory, this short preseason, getting right into the season, baseball-like games. Or basketball-like games, not baseball, NBA-type games. But what can we expect with this whole process?
So I know you guys are football guys, and I'm sitting here trying to think of coming up with analogies. So with the Utes or with BYU, these first couple of games would be equivalent of spring football.
Got you.
Okay, you're going to have 5 lines here. You got a couple of your kids are going to go back to junior. You'll have a couple of extra defensemen, maybe an extra goalie, and they will play. The kids. You won't see the stars in every game. They'll get a break. They practice on off days, and then once you get through this regular season or through the preseason towards the regular season, they'll start to send kids down to Tucson in the American League, and what you'll see the last couple of exhibition games is what you're going to see for day one at the Delta Center against the Chicago Blackhawks.
If you are, watching how this thing has sort of developed and I've gotten an education, obviously it was good to sit down on draft night. And then since then we've been able to chat with a bunch of players, with Bill Armstrong, with Bear Tourney, and just kind of get to know what's going on here. And I think that even though we've talked about it so much, I don't think we could really even explain, and even maybe the team is not necessarily going to feel what that reality is going to be like until that October 8 puck drops against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, and then some. Just because it's game one and it's game on, and the same 2 points on game one is the same 2 points you get to win on game 82. There's a lot of young kids here who still. Logan Cooley's a great example. Logan Cooley could play on my team this year, birth year wise. He's a 2004. I've got 8 2004s on my junior team this year. That's how bloody good this kid is. And mature and just a heck of a player. He had 20 goals last year, but he's got a long way to go to become a top centerman in this league. He's got a lot to learn, and really that's just experience and game count and the teaching and the nuances and learning from the older pros and stuff. So this team is a real work in progress. They've got a lot of talented kids, though. They could get off to a really good start here and bank a lot of points, kind of like they did last year. Remember the draft night, we talked about how good they were up until January, and they had that long road trip in the East, and they went 0 for whatever the number, 0 for 8 games. And then, the whole thing about moving and stuff, and they might have lost their heart a little bit. But this team could be really competitive. These games count from day one, and they can bank points. They can make some noise at the end of the season.
What kind of strategy can we expect from Tourney? What is his type of play? What do we look for? We slow to go. We quick out the gates. What type of things does he do on the hockey as far as coaching goes in the hockey arena?
So this is a speed game in the NHL now, and if you can't skate, it's like speed, like the old Miami Hurricanes in the '80s when they were just so much faster than everybody else.
Right.
I had to throw the Canes in as a plug there, 5 national championships. But this is a speed game, and you've got a lot of kids that are young here, 22, 23. Cooley's now 20, and you're going to see a really fast-paced team. And but kids that have got to learn, you just can't go out there and go 160 miles an hour for a minute straight. You've got to pick your spots. But he plays an aggressive game, and they'll be a lot better defensively this year. Getting Sergachev in, and unfortunately Marino is banged up to start. But if you've got a better defensive team and you keep pucks out of the net, that makes your goalies automatically better. And if they can cut their goals against down and play with the speed with the youth up front, as I say, this team can make some noise. But, with Sergachev coming in and Marino coming in and Ian Cole coming in, these guys will be much better defensively.
Kevin McCloskey joining us here on JJ and Alex as we get you ready for this hockey season. So many things for us to be able to try to get people ready for hockey season. I don't even know where to – every person we talk to, everything we break down, in the end I kind of just go, you know what, I can't wait for this thing to fire up. But what do you look forward to as a guy who's a former pro, a guy who runs youth programs here, of course, for a long, long time, and a guy who has been at the highest level of this game. What does it mean to have, ultimately, what does it mean to have an NHL team here in the state of Utah?
Well, what you're going to find out, guys, is that in about a month, you're going to have college football, NFL, Major League Baseball playoffs, NBA, and now the NHL. And you guys don't have enough hours in the day to talk about all of it. So just make sure us hockey guys get a little bit of time. As it's new to the area, and I think there's a lot of people that are hungry for information, but I think this is going to be an exciting, really exciting year, particularly to kick it off right out of the box. And, tickets are at a premium. They sold out in crazy record time. And you just root for the guys, root for the home team to score more goals than the visitors, and you'll learn the nuances of the game as you go along.
That's awesome advice. I love it. Just look, you want your team to win, and that's it. And then while it's going, you'll kind of get what you'll figure out how to be a super fan along the way. Kevin,
there'll be a lot of geniuses in the stands. Pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Bum, what a play! That's
sure.
Good.
That'll be me next year.
So,
give me this year, and then next year I'm going to be that expert. Yeah.
We're going to be sitting there in about October the 30th, and you're going to be going, I know this game.
Oh,
now.
yeah, for sure. Kevin McCloskey, tell people where they can go see some of these games with the Utah Outliers, and now that our youth program is going to start taking off even more, how they can go catch some of you guys' games.
So we are the Utah Outliers, UtahOutliers.com, and we play 53 games, odd number, but we start off tomorrow night at the A-Court Ice Arena as our home arena. We will move to the new Black Rock Event Center up in the latter part of February for our last 12 home games, which is a brand new $40 million building in Park City. And it'd be like just a little Delta Center, a couple thousand for hockey, 3,000 for concerts. And so we're at the A-Court Ice Arena, and tickets available online. It's an affordable family entertainment deal. Tickets are $12 general admission. And we have a lot of fun. Our kids obviously aren't as good. They make more mistakes, which creates more scoring chances, which equates to more goals. And it's a lot of fun. It's a great brand of hockey. I'll tell you one thing. John Marino, who was traded from New Jersey to the Utah Hockey Club here, played 2 years in our league back in the 2014, 2015, and maybe 2016. He got his start in our league.
Look at that.
So, and we've got some great young talent. We have a kid on our team. You might recognize the name. His name is Thomas Duhamel.
Oh, yeah.
His dad Mario is an assistant coach for the Utah Hockey Club. So Mario sneaks in once in a while to watch a practice, and we're fortunate. He's a really good young player. 2007 birth year, as young as Logan Cooley is.
Wow.
And as young as Kesselring is on defense. They're Kesselring's a 2000. Cooley's an 04. He's 3 years younger. He's just getting going with his career, and heck of a hockey player. And we've got a lot of talent out there.
That's
so it's
awesome.
a lot of fun, great family entertainment. Kids can run around and really enjoy themselves, basically for the cost of a movie or less.
Love it. Kevin McCloskey. Kevin, we're going to get you on periodically here as we get going with the season here, as we start to run into things we're not used to seeing or get some of those breakdowns from you as the season starts. We appreciate you coming on, man. Always good to talk to you.
For sure. Absolutely. Love it, guys.
There you go.
Sly, nice to meet you. Alex, thanks for having me on.
You bet,
You
man.
as well. Talk to you
There
soon,
you go.
man.
Kevin McCloskey,
All right.
everybody.
Go Utah.
There you go.
There it
See?
is.
You threw it in at the
There
end.
it is.
I love it. Let's jump out to the phone lines here. We've got Vidal. Well, people F with it. And okay, here we go. Here we go.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Yes, it is the NFL Blitz. Alex Keary, Stevenson Sylvester joining in place of JJ today. Sly, thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. Always good to come down here.
I think it's nice because you're skipping tomorrow's show. It's fine.
I mean, I just heard Stillwater has just such a better community. I just have to enjoy
So
it.
what's the? What's the play? Eskimo Joe's. That's the restaurant
Everybody's talking
talks
about it. I'm like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
the heck is this Eskimo jersey?
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's
sounds like a hole in a wall.
Well, no, I mean, it's like saying if somebody goes, "Oh, you got to go to the pie," like I know you're gonna be that look because
I'm not
it's
even a big pie fan.
I know, but people, if you're close to campus and there's like a mystique to the original one where it's like go downstairs, you're in the little, everybody writes on the wall and
got you.
give yourself fat and happy from some
fat and sassy.
getting fat and sassy, eating breads and soups. Gosh.
Oh, that's amazing.
You didn't think we were gonna bust that meme out on this one, did you?
Oh man.
Okay. So I love this because Emmitt Smith. Now I was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area when I was a kid, and I was there when they were winning Super Bowls. And that means I was there when Emmitt Smith was drafted, when the team was 1-15 in 1989, I want to say. They draft Troy Aikman, they draft Emmitt Smith. And things start to turn around. They win the Super Bowl in 92, 93, and 95. And since then, they've been cursed, right? And part of the curse has been Jerry Jones.
Say $10 billion valuation is cursed.
I guess. Yeah, but you know what? That's great. That's great. But there is something to be the butt of every joke because you are worth $10 billion and you never win, right?
Right.
Look, the brand is absolutely amazing. You're right.
Jerry is on it. Any publicity is good publicity for Jerry.
And Jerry has gotten it to $10 billion. I don't know how much of it is just the fact that we've turned into such sports obsessed
that we have
weirdos,
to talk about
right?
them,
Yeah.
even when they're subpar.
Even when they're bad. Actually, when they're bad, it's even more fun.
It's great. I grew up a Cowboys fan, so this is that. So all the years you're talking about, that was me.
Yeah.
I loved it. That's when I first started watching football.
Which is weird because that's when they beat your Steelers in '95. Neil O'Donnell throwing 2 picks straight to Larry
the Bills before
Brown.
that too.
Right.
Yeah. So Neil O'Donnell threw that game, by the way. All Steelers fans,
NFL scripted.
all Steelers fans know it.
I knew it. All right. So your thoughts of because Emmitt Smith says this is not a playoff team. It's not a winning culture right now. I always think it's tough when former players who are legendary are in the Ring of Honor, all the stuff. The thing is they're not in the building really that often. They show up and accept an award and wave, and then they go, yeah, this isn't a winning culture. I think that guys like Emmitt Smith kind of like the fact that they can be like, well, we know how to win. You guys don't. There's a little bit of that, right? Like the old guard goes.
What do you mean? There's a lot of that.
There's a ton of it. There's my era was the best.
Yeah, I do it now. I just you're asking me this question. I'm completely biased.
2008 was the only year that the Utes were any good. All the other teams kind of fall in line behind us.
Subpar. They just didn't have it.
Well, so when you see guys like Emmitt Smith say that, well, one, after 2 weeks, it's hard to evaluate, but it is. I mean, they got embarrassed at their place by the Saints on Sunday. And everybody was watching that game because they'd had a pretty decent game one. And any game at home, any game at Cowboys Stadium is always going to be watched and scrutinized. So when you see a guy like Emmitt Smith say that, does that make you think that that Mike McCarthy is short term now? I just feel like a guy like that, since they haven't fired him. I mean, hell, they didn't fire the redheaded guy. What was his name? Jason Garrett for a decade, man.
His name, the redheaded guy.
the ginger. They didn't fire that guy for. I mean, they went 5 or 8 years past him when he should have been fired. So I don't know what the Cowboy situation is.
For me, it kind of makes me think about my 2013 year with the Steelers. We started 0-4. And there's just statistics out there that if you start a certain way, you're not going to have a successful season.
Low single digits. If it's 0-4, it's almost impossible.
Well, it is impossible, and that's what the thing is. We started 0-4, and we missed the freaking playoffs by the Kansas City kicker, who missed the field goal against San Diego. It was a 25-yard field goal, and I'm like, you cannot miss this field goal. He misses it wide right. We missed the playoffs. Nice. There was like a 0.8% chance we'd make the playoffs.
It's never good to leave it up to somebody else to get you in the playoffs.
So there's that. But there's just statistical things that tell you about the future. And the bad part is guys like him, like Emmitt Smith, they want to win the championship every year.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin, I love listening to Michael Irvin. He's a realist also. He's a Dallas homer.
Yeah.
But he's a realist also. It's if you're not doing it, you're not cutting it. It takes a lot to win a championship. And so in their eyes, that's the only ending to a season. Is that championship game, in that spotlight, in that. And if you're not doing that, those are things that they know is not going to translate into success.
I saw this story and I felt bad for these guys. Look, it's one thing to go, well, you're famous, you have to expect X, Y, and Z. Dan Campbell, his address got leaked online. The head coach of the Lions, his address got leaked online, and he has now gotten to the point because he's being harassed enough by people or people driving by or waving or honking and waiting outside the gates when he pulls out. He had to list his house to sell it because people are.
That's got to be pretty bad.
It's awful.
Because I'm like, in Pittsburgh, like, everybody knew where everybody lived. All the fans, they knew, Ben lives right around the corner over here.
Right. But they didn't bug him. They didn't get weird.
Bug him.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like people know, but like for this to happen, like it has to be pretty bad.
Yeah, and I mean, look, they're 1-1. And imagine the day we're in now where people expect the Lions to be better than they are sometimes. It's like that's where we've gotten. And you know what? They are. I think they are going to be good. And I think Dan Campbell's a little bit of a local celebrity there.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't really have.
He got a Detroit attitude,
right? And they don't have a. I don't recall somebody in Detroit being like this, an outspoken like. On commercials, people know who the head coach of the Lions is, like for all the good reasons, not the bad reasons. But like even Will Levis, who was the Titans' extremely bad quarterback, had his number leaked, and he's been getting text messages from random people about how bad he's playing. He had to change his number. This is where we've gotten, is what I'm saying is live. This is hey everybody, just you don't want it to happen to you, and I get it. Like
this actually reminds me of the guy that he broke up with the girl broke up with him, and he put her number on like a bulletin board.
Oh yeah, and said, "Do your best Chewbacca impersonation."
Voice. She's got voicemails of everybody.
Yeah. Same thing. Is how you get back at somebody and be like, "Hey, Will Levis is playing terrible. We're gonna do that." Okay. Apparently, the Panthers have said, "Oh, we're not even considering trading Bryce Young, even though they're benching him for Andy Dalton."
I don't know why there's such an uproar about this.
What do you mean? An uproar like. Because I think that I think they're basically moving on from Bryce Young. Because the reality is, if they get the number one overall pick,
the Panthers suck.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. I don't think. Put Tom Brady in there, they're going to be awful.
It's the front office. It's their front office. You bring in new coaches like clockwork. You bring in new coaches more than you bring in new players. So the coaches ain't working out, but it's something that they're doing up top because there's no reason for them to be this bad. How are you this bad at evaluating talent to put a personnel together?
Yeah.
Because you have talent, but can they work together? That's how you know your front office is doing good, is if they can put together pieces to work together. Cam Newton's teams there, they just work together with Robert Turbin, the plethora of running backs that they had there, plus what he was able to put together with Ted Ginn Jr. as a receiver. Like, it worked. It worked well. How do you have the number one overall pick multiple years and you mess it up?
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
You
have
Browns.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And you mess it up.
You had Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, who were both turning into better quarterbacks than you guys could have ever produced.
There's something else there. So for everybody sitting here blaming the player sucks, but even benching him, what is the big deal? This is in his second year. He's not getting it. Let him breathe. He probably hasn't breathed. The daunting responsibility of a number one overall pick is hard.
Yeah.
Right?
And in quarterback
especially when you're 6 foot 190.
If you're a left tackle and you're the number one overall pick, it's kind of nice because you're like, oh, we're bad. Well, I'm still holding my part down.
I'm not the quarterback.
Right.
But you're a quarterback number one. There is so much on your head. Like, just let the man breathe. So I say, sit him this whole season and then reevaluate him there before the first contract ends. I don't have a problem with benching him. He's not playing well. That's what happens. But the uproar of everybody talking about, like, his career's over or he shouldn't play anymore, I just think that's freaking atrocious. And even, like, I just think the front office needs to do – the situation just needs to be better. He needs to have the right people around him to make it easy on him. Whatever the system is, and that's the problem with the NFL, is they force people into systems. Instead of understanding, does the system work for this player?
Or is this guy going to work? Yeah, it's exactly right.
They force the system into the player, and then it just doesn't mesh. And then you get this Bryce Young situation.
You're implying that the Panthers have a system.
I would think, everybody has a system. Whether it's a good system or not is the question.
Jets-Patriots tonight on Prime.
I'm starting to dislike Aaron Rodgers. Do people talk about him too much? Just freaking play the game. You haven't played for 2 years.
Well, they got a win last week, and obviously everyone's like, okay, he solved every problem.
They're fixed.
He threw 2 touchdowns, got a win. There you go. All right.
Yeah.
But still, It's a Thursday night football game. I have to watch it. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait.
But if they bomb, it's kind of like you're hoping
if
for
you
that.
lose to the Patriots, like that's a bad deal, man.
Yeah, Gerard
really
Mayo,
bad deal.
first-year head coach. You got Aaron Rodgers, multi-time MVP, and you're losing to the Patriots. It's at home, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Was that East
This is a
Rutherford?
division rivalry.
Yeah.
You better pull it together. Gerard Mayo don't care. He's like the honey badger.
Yeah, man. I love it. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll come back. When we do, we've got our best and worst. Don't want to miss any of that. Weirdness of the ACC realignment is it's come to roost. Did we think that this was going to go over normally? I don't think so. When you start to look at some of the matchups this weekend, it's wild. All right, stay with us. More to go around the corner. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Wrapping up the hour with our picks for the best and worst moments on today's show. As JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Yes, JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone, the best and worst, as always. Brought to you by the folks at the Doug Smith dealerships in American Fork and Spanish Fork. Kia, Subaru, Chevy, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram. Check them out in the American Fork or in Spanish Fork. Great service starts with know-how, and nobody knows like Doug Smith. Sly, nice enough to still hang out today. And like I said, you're missing our Football Fridays tomorrow. Is this a flight down to Oklahoma State? Is that what's going on? That's,
Hey, buddy, I'm on the charter now.
Oh, you guys are important again.
Big thing. Yeah, I'm above the.
I'm surprised they even did it. I'm surprised they went back. To be honest, because like COVID got a lot of people in weird spots. They're like, hey, look, you're not going to be on the charter anymore, and it's COVID. Because it used to be. Because I'm pretty sure because they used to take 2 charters, right? It was the team and all the coaches and whatever, and then there was plane number 2.
I was on plane number 2 before.
See, plane number 2 is like the band, the cheerleaders, and Sly.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they do it now. Like I don't know if they're
just a jumbo plane. Well, here's the thing:
they just had room and they invited you, or what's going on?
Hey, man, I'm not asking questions.
Sure.
I'm not asking questions.
But you're on their timeline
I'll take
now.
those snacks, buddy.
Yeah.
The charters from plane.
Is the food better?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, good.
It's amazing.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
The charters from when we used to play, I used to love going on trips. I was like, can we just have another away game, please? The treatment is just awesome.
Has it changed at all since you've been? I guess the last time you guys went was probably 2020 on the.
Last time
charter,
I went because I wasn't on the broadcast. Before COVID.
Yeah.
But I did substitute in like I do now with you guys. Was 2018. So that's when I had the 2 charters.
Okay. Snacks are legit.
Oh yeah.
Do they give you guys the same snacks they give the players?
Oh yeah. We get the leftovers.
Same boxes.
We got to make sure the players are taken care of first. But
right.
They
But
stock
they're coming
up
around
good.
in those boxes. They add 15 or 20 extra because they know some linemen will probably eat a couple extras.
Bro, my best friends were the offensive linemen. Like the fat guys just know how to do it. They have the most fun and they have zero shame.
Oh, I love it.
And I'm just like, good. Don't worry.
Is there a version of? And now, are you assigned seats? Because
Yes.
because like I remember back in the day, like now mine was just the high school buses. We had the backseat crew though. Like like you get on the bus and you're like, I'll see you in the back, and like we were. Guess what? We were the shameless fat guys in the back that were.
So
and
they
like,
know that
we had to be kind of quiet because like if we lost, it was like the kind of thing where we'd still be clowning in the back, like, and if they heard you, like, quiet, because you wanted it to be a really sad trip back to the school at night.
Yeah, no, the buses after you get off of the charter, it's free for all. You just jump on the buses,
sure.
bus
Okay.
1, 2,
That's
3,
good.
whatever.
That's good.
But the charter, they have that organized. I think that's just a staple. They have to know who's in what seats. But they do orchestrate who sits by who purposely.
Will you put it on social media, like you getting on the plane and stuff? Be like, "What's up?" Like you getting on like on the jetway.
No,
I want to see it.
No,
I want to have.
I don't need it. I just want to. This is the thing is everybody's never like really enjoying the moments anymore.
Right.
We're recording everything so much. I want to just. This has been a while since I've been on the charter, so I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna enjoy.
I got to fly one time on the charter with BYU on the way back from I think Notre Dame. Yeah, it was South Bend. And that was good because we'd have to fly out of like Chicago or something like that. And so like
private airports.
When they were like, "Hey, we got room on the charter. You want to jump?" Oh, I was like, "Abso-freaking-lutely." But they told us like there were boxes of food, and they were like, "No, you guys aren't. That's not you guys. Grab a sandwich from the stadium before you."
No, I get.
I'm
those
like trying
boxes.
to grab like the Philly cheese. Oh, thank you so. Oh, not for me. Okay.
Here's the plus for me. people still think I play. So if they
look at that.
If they don't look at the gray in my beard, people still think I'm one of the guys. So I'm good, man. I just put on a hoodie and I look like a D lineman. It's great.
Officially, the best of the day is that Sly gets to be on the charter.
Yes, sir.
Again, so that's good. But that also makes it to where you're on Witt's schedule again. You know what I mean?
don't mind that. I like somebody who's on it. I'm an organized guy. Good. So if you're like plus I've spent so many years with him. The Steelers organization is the exact same. Thing. So I've had so many straight years of my development that was under that type of tutelage that I'm just used to that. So that works for me. Don't be the guy under Witt, though. Best.
No. The worst of the day, the ACC realignment has finally come to roost on week 4 of the season. Stanford goes to play at Syracuse. That's a conference game. Palo Alto to Syracuse, New York. That's a conference game. Okay? And Cal goes to Florida State. By the way,
they were just at Auburn, weren't they?
I know, yes. But Cal's going to win this freaking football game. You know what's crazy? They're 3-0. Are they 3-0? Are they 4-0? 3-0. And Stanford doesn't look nearly as bad as I think people think that they were going to be. So, look, Stanford at Syracuse, Cal at Florida State. Cal could actually win that freaking game.
I just want to see, getting around week 10, week 11, just to see how these Pac-12 schools do in these other conferences.
With the travel and everything?
Well, no, just the competition, right? Everybody's talking about how the Pac-12 isn't like...
So the ACC is a step down, right? I mean, in my mind, because even Florida State, who was supposed to be one of the classes of the conference, is not very good. Clemson is overrated now. Miami's good, but like after that, I mean, Wake Forest is a mess. You have all these teams.
North Carolina.
No. The Carolinas are like we're back to focusing on basketball, and like honestly, there's I think it's a step down.
We had a little moment. That was it.
Cal and Stanford are loving this. Cal is loving it too because they're not even they're like, we're not even paying for any of this. Like they're like, we can't. We're getting some money from UCLA because they left the conference and the Board of Regents in California had to make them. They have to make payments to Cal. UCLA has to make payments to Cal. SC doesn't have to because it's a private school, right? UCLA has to make payments to Cal, and Cal's in debt.
UCLA got so much money they don't even care.
And they're so bad. They are so bad. Who'd they lose to? Indiana. They lost to Indiana like 40-6 or something like that this last week.
Deshaun Foster, what the heck?
I have no idea. Maybe it's going to take a minute, but there you go. There's your best and worst. Like I said, brought to you by the Doug Smith dealerships. Let's get out. We're going to chat today with our buddy Vidal, who's down at the warehouse. And if the warehouse is on with us, that means there are deals to be had. Vidal, it's been a couple weeks, and that means you've been able to curate a couple of big sales. 1825 South, 300 West is where you find the warehouse. That's 1825 South and 300 West, just east of Costco, north of Sam's Club. Start blowing our minds here, Vidal. What do you have for us, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's start with the big deals. Let's start by sections of the house. Right now, we're going to go ahead and start with the living rooms. So what we have right now, we have a crazy special going on. We have a really, really good deal. We can give you a sofa, a love seat, a 3-piece coffee table, 2 lamps, and a rug. All of these packages that we have is for new people that are actually moving into the new apartments. Maybe your kid is moving out of the house. You want to help them out. Things like that. Things happen in life, of course. So this package right here usually retails anywhere else. The cheapest things that I found over there right now, anywhere else, at least $3,000 anywhere else, not here at the warehouse. The warehouse in Salt Lake City has the best prices, and we've been in business for over 15 years because we know how we definitely do it. We know how to do it. This package that I just told you, basically has about 6-piece package instead of $3,000, and this is going to blow your mind. We're gonna do it for $18.99, including taxes and delivery. We'll take care of that for you guys. Boom! That's how we start today.
That's a great start. Now, so give me all the stuff that's in the package again. Then, so we're talking $18.99. What's all in it again? That's a lot of pieces in there. So I want to write this one down so we can get everybody hooked up here.
Yes, of course. We have for $18.99. We can give you sofa, love seat, 3-piece coffee table, 2 lamps, a rug, taxes included, and delivery included.
Boom, $18.99. What a great start. Vidal, you know how to do it, my friend, and we've just gotten started here. So we haven't even gotten to the – listen, today I know you're going to roll out a lot of adjustable bed situations too. So we're gonna get to all that.
We have some coming for sure. Yes,
okay.
We do.
All right, there you go. The first deal has been dropped. $18.99 for the sofa, the love seat, the 3 coffee tables, the 3 different tables you can have, and then 2 lamps and a rug, all from the warehouse, $18.99. Boom. All right, let's get things started here. 1825 South, 300 West, right there in Salt Lake City. That's just 1825 South, 300 West. We'll chat with Vidal in a little bit. We'll come back right here on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.